Yo, YouTube, what's up? It's Aeghis. I'm making another video here. The last video I made about how to set up your character was mainly focused on talents, soul binds, and conduits, and gear. So this one I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of some other stuff that you could do to correctly set up your mage. And this is going to be a lot of macros and key bindings. Because I think there is something to be said about key bindings as well. But more importantly, the main topic of this video will be the macros. Because there are actually a handful of macros that are really useful as mage. And there's a lot of things you can do with macros to add awareness to your gameplay and overall just make some nice quality of life changes. So yeah, we can get into the video. So the first set of macros that I highly recommend is Counterspell 1, 2, and 3. The reason why this is better than just using, like, let's say just a target and focus macro is, let's say you have 3 targets. Let me go over here. So let's say these 3 dummies right here are Arena 1, 2, and 3. So if I'm targeting this guy and focusing this guy, these are my this is my target and this is my focus CS. Let's say I'm in a 3s match. This is good, this is fine. I have 1 on my target and 1 on my focus, but this also means that I can't CS this 3rd target over here unless I change my focus to him or I target him. So that's going to be 2 inputs to be able to CS this 3rd target, because for one I have to change my target and then I have to use CS. Whereas if you use Counterspell 1, 2, 3, as you can see here, cast at Arena 1, at Arena 2, and at Arena 3. It's just one button press to instantly CS anybody on the team. I actually didn't used to use this. I used target and focus all the way up to my rank 1 last season. So I just actually swapped this season a couple of weeks ago, and it is a little bit rough to adapt, I won't lie, but it's well worth the change. Like, my speed of CSing important things like feral regrowth on your go, or like mage poly in an RMP mirror, or just other important things like that, void eruption from Shadow Priest. My speed on Counterspell has just increased dramatically from switching to Counterspell 1, 2, 3. And there's also something else. So you can't actually use CS while you're on your mount. So that's why I have dismount macroed into this. I also have stop casting, because let's say you're casting like a poly, but then like CSing something is way more important than finishing the polycast. You'll have the ability to just press your CS and have it go off. It's a nice quality of life change that I think that you should include into your counterspell macro. I also have cancel aura ice block. So if you're in a block, you don't have to press another macro to cancel it and then use CS. A lot of it's trying to just make sure that if you press counterspell, no matter what happens, or if you're casting or in a block or on a mount or whatever, like, your counterspell is gonna go off. So these are some really nice quality of life things that you should be adding to your counterspell macros. And I highly suggest using 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, like, I'll just hit like tab or something. Once I go to see it, it cancels literally instantly. Also, if I'm like on my mount, it would cancel that as well. Or if I'm in my block, it cancels my block too. So yeah, that's gonna be counterspell macro. So I'm just gonna kind of skim through some of the macros I have here. One thing I do with my macros is I put 1 in front for all my mage ones, so that they all list up here at the top. Because since I have a lot of mages, putting my important ones in the specific one would mean that I would have to go through and make the same macros on all the mages. So for all my mage macros, I just put 1 in front so that it sorts it up at the top. You can see these are all my mage ones up here. So those are all arcane ones. That's for alliance. So this is arcane intellect on my horde. Basically, I don't need to know that arcane intellect is there, but I do want to be able to track my will of the Forsaken cooldown. So you can see this is actually arcane intellect. See, when I press it here, it buffs. But I have it set to showing the tooltip of Will the Forsaken, because since I have 2 on my bars, I can kind of just like look down, glance, and see a little bit easier since there's 2 of them on the bar. So that's why I have it set up like this. Because stuff like this, Arcane Intellect, you don't need to see the, like, if I just had it like this, you know, it makes no difference. Like, I don't need to know it's there. I already know it's there. But being able to, like, macro a cooldown into that so I can track the cooldown of something easier, something I do for a lot of my abilities. As you can see here, like on my Pyro, this is actually Scorch. See, when I press it, it's actually Scorch. But I just have it set to Pyro because, well, I mean, that one's kind of just for fun. But anyways, I'll just start going over macros here. So this is set to make my shimmer look like blink. So instead of looking like shimmer, it now looks like blink. There's no advantage to this. It's just nice to look at. So anyways, let's go over. This is my combust macro. I have this in here for if I'm playing my orc. This in here if I'm using a badge trinket, which is, oh, actually, yep, I just messed that up. Okay, well, that was last season's trinket anyways, so we can just, and then I have /yell set in there so that my teammates know when I'm busting. So when I pop bust, it yells busting so that my teammates can see that. Another macro here, let's see, cancel alter. Yeah, so let's say I alter, you can see that it shows me I'm at 100%. Let's say I go like, or let's say I alter like 50% and then I go up to 100. I don't want to obviously alter back, so I'll just press that macro and cancel it. And I have it set to my blazing barrier again because that's not something that I need to actually track. It's just a cancel aura. So I actually set it to blazing barriers so that I can track. I like having 2 of the important things, such as like my trinket, my block, my counter spells, obviously all that, so that I can just glance down and see if I have it. Like, it's just easier to see if there's 2, right? So let's see. This is my cancel, combust, icy veins, ice form, arcane power. This used to be really useful back when klepto was a thing. Now that klepto doesn't exist, I'd say it's less important, but still pretty important to have. I would definitely have this macro still, for if you steal a mage's combust and you don't have a lot of buffs on, and he can easily steal it back and kill someone. This is definitely something useful to have. Also against like arcane mages, taking their arcane power. Against an arcane, you're never going to have a lot of buffs, so it's better to just cancel your arcane power so that they don't get it back. Because if you guys didn't know, arcane has, you can see our spell steal as fire costs like 10,000 mana. I think arcanes cost like 1,000, so they get literally like way more spell steals than fire does. Let's see. This is back when BM used to be a thing. You could like BM, actually it's on a cooldown, but basically the concept was that you would BM, alter, and then you would cancel BM and alter back. This is a macro that would do that in one button. So it cancels the, basically cancel aura just means like if you have a buff, it'll cancel that aura. So this is what the buff's name was called when you would press BM trinket. So it would cancel that and then cast alter again, which would take you back. So you would use this after you alter. Not really important anymore. This is just a target CS because Arena 123 doesn't work out in the open. So you still need target focus if you want. So this is stop casting on my DB. So example, if I was, say, casting a poly and then a mage or like a rogue opens on me but like doesn't stun me or something, I could instantly just DB without having to you know, obviously if I'm casting I want to stop casting, and DB is the most important thing. This is actually something that I learned from watching that hunter on EU, Big Mex, I think his name is. What this actually does is it's a cancel queued spell. So in this game, if you have, there's something called a spell queue window, and it's if you are casting something and you press something, so you see I actually pressed my fireball before my sheep cast went off. Try and look at the this and the cast. So I'm casting, and then I press Shift E before the I actually pressed fireball before my poly went off. This is called this is called the spell queue window. You can actually like queue spells before your cast has actually gone off. So this will actually cancel that, meaning if you're casting something, like let's say I'm casting a poly and then I'm also casting like a fireball, or maybe I'm double casting poly, this will cancel any queued spells so that you can instantly DB. It's something that's a little small, but it actually does kind of, it's just good to have it in there, right? And then obviously cast Dragon's Breath, and then this is use Fire Eater's Vial. It's just a toy. It's like this little green stuff that comes out. Alright, so let's go over some more. That's a Frost macro. There's my Focus counterspell for out in the world. Focus Polymorph. I use Target Focus Polymorph. I don't use Polymorph 1, 2, 3, although I would recommend it. I've just never ran into any issues where Target and Focus wasn't good enough. Like for CS, I was running into a lot of issues with that, but for Poly, not so much. This is my Focused Fire Blast macro. This is really only useful against like let's say warriors who are running the Mass Reflect legendary. You can like have a healer on focus. Let's say that this is the warrior, this one here, and then this is the healer. He like intervenes, or not intervenes, he Mass Reflects this, and then like I'm casting a poly. I actually can't cast a poly on this, but as you can see here, he's on my focus because this is my target frame, this is my focus. And if I use it, it's right here. It Fire Blast my focus target. It's really just to like snipe spell reflex off. So pretty useful. This is just a cosmetic change to get my Phoenix Flames to look like actually that's the wrong one. It's just to get my Phoenix Flames to look like Frost Firebolt. Like I said, it's just cosmetic. This is an interesting macro. So this one is my mouse over Fire Blast, which I use often to snipe grounding totems. Let's say like this is a grounding totem and I'm sheeping the shaman, casting sheep, try to snipe the grounding totem real quick, you know, just boop, boop, flick the mouse, you know. Gotta aim train in this game to be able to snipe grounding totems like that without actually having to target them. So yeah, and then I think that's, let's see, this one is GPI, just so I can track my remove curse a little bit better. This is my Scorch macro. Like I said, doing this, it just allows you to track the cooldown of some stuff and have 2 on your bars, even though like it's just to save bar room. As you can see, like I don't need to know that Scorch is there, you know. Also the same thing with Arcane Intellect and a couple other things as well. So let's see, this is my Cancel Shields macro. Like I said, you don't really use this anymore either. This used to be for like Klepto. You would Klepto someone and then cancel all your shields. You can still use it. Like if you are, let's say 1v1ing a mage and he polys you and he's going to spell steal all your shields, you could just cancel him. Sometimes I like to just let them spell steal it to waste their mana, but I don't know, you could still cancel them. That's good too. This is target. This is actually how you target the hunter's pet. It'll target the main pet so that let's say you bust a hunter and then he turtles. Well, you have all this leftover bust damage that you're not going to be able to put into anything. So you might as well just start attacking his pet. Maybe you can kill it with the rest of your bust, right? So you can use this to target the main pet, because BM hunters actually have 2 pets. So you can use this macro to easily target the main one. This is my cancel. This is this macro to cancel. It cancels walk. It cancels bop. This is for like if I'm playing my pally. It cancels slow fall. It also cancels holy ward. So let's say you're fighting an RMP mirror and you steal the holy priest holy ward. Well, sometimes it can actually be beneficial to cancel that holy ward because if the other mage steals it off you, then it can actually hurt your go, because then now the mage has Holy Word, so you can't really cross him. But the main purpose I get out of this macro is for my stop casting. This is how I juke people all the time. So, like, casting and then moving is a little bit slower than just using this macro. See, if I'm gonna try to do it as fast as I can. You can see some of the cast still goes off when I move. But if you use this macro, it literally cancels it instantly. So yeah, if you move, it still kind of casts a little bit afterwards. You can see that. But if I'm just using the macro, oh, actually that was bad. It's instant. I can cancel it literally instantly. So it's just more responsive. There's like a higher chance that when you move, there's a chance that like latency plays a part, and sometimes you'll actually get kicked even though you juked it, and it's just a whole mess. So I'd rather just use this macro to guarantee that like you're actually gonna juke the kick and it stops casting when you want it. Because like I said, when you move, some of the casts like actually starts to still go off. It's a little weird. So I would definitely recommend juking with a stop casting macro. Let's see what else. I think that actually might be all of my macros. The rest of these aren't really too important. Yeah, no, that's all my macros. So I guess a little bit, I'm gonna go over a little bit about key bindings now. So for key bindings, like they're largely personal. So take this all with a grain of salt. If you're comfortable with your set of keybinds that you have now, definitely don't change them, because I think comfort is more important than anything. Obviously, there exists as a thing as optimal keybinds, but being comfortable with your keybinds is way more important than being optimal. So one thing, like let's say that mage isn't your main class and you're just coming over to play mage, but let's say you play something like Shadow Priest. One thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're binding stuff that is similar to each other on different classes, right? So let's say like you play Shadow Priest and your disperse is on Shift W or something. Well, then obviously you want to put your biggest defensive on other classes on Shift W. So I would put my ice block there. And your power word shield is, let's say, Shift A. So then you want to put blazing barrier on Shift A. So that when you go from class to class, you're essentially pressing the same abilities, and your muscle memory is still the same for that exact situation. Oh, I need to be defensive. Your fingers go and click the same thing habitually. So it's also important to have, let's say, like target and focus be somewhere similar as well. So like my poly ANS, that's focus and target. I'm actually kind of the worst person to explain binds. It's funny because like my CS bind is tab, shift tab, and D. Like that's all over the place. You know, like this is 1, 2, and 3. Arena 1, Arena 2, and Arena 3. Like only these two make sense because that's, like I said, I used to play target and focus, right? But then I switched to Arena 1, 2, 3, and it's kind of all over the place. I had to make this third bind, which is just D randomly. Like I said, key bindings is largely personal. The main thing of this video is the macros. The one thing I will say about key bindings is that if you are not targeting and focusing Arena 1, 2, 3 with key bindings, you guys need to be doing this. Like if you're still clicking your S Arena frames, like let's say in order to target people in Arena, you're like clicking these frames, or actually just targeting them, or using tab targeting. That's something that I really recommend that you guys change. Go into key bindings here and target Arena 1, 2, 3. I have mine set to shift 1, 2, 3. I know a lot of people use those as like ability keybinds, but like I said, they don't have to be shift 1, 2, 3. Just try to find a bind for these, because this is gonna make a world of a difference. And also focus 1, 2, 3 is really important. So I have focus as F, focus 1 is F, 2 is Shift F, 3 is T, and then my mouse over focus, which is another macro I have actually. Focus mouse over. It's so I can just mouse over, focus anything that my mouse is over. I think that's really the most important. Like I said, key bindings are largely personal. Try to keep it like similar to your other classes if Mage isn't your first. But yeah, I think that's all that I have for this video. Let me know what kind of videos that you guys would like to see in the future regarding simple things like this, like macros and gear and all that kind of stuff. Because I know a lot of people, or I guess I kind of assume a lot that people don't need help with this kind of stuff. But like I said, I want to start, or I want to help you guys, set your Mage up so that you have the highest possibility to succeed in arenas. I'm trying to make as much content to be able to make you guys be able to have the best chance, like where you're going in with the right talents, going in with the right set of gear, the right key bindings, the right macros. I can't really think of anything else really besides those, but if you guys can, then yeah, like I said, please let me know. So that's gonna be all from me, and peace out, boys. Peace out.